wasn't fun breathing the last few weeks or so.
Lot of smoke.
Yeah. In case you don't know, we live in the Pacific Northwest, and pretty much everything's been on fire.
We are surrounded by fires.
So
on
we got a lot
fronts.
of smoke, and it's like, I'm like going outside, like, whoa, because you see off the distance, everything's gray.
Off in the distance, just on the other side of the
Well,
road
initially,
is gray.
and then it just got worse and worse. Eventually, he's like, where is everything? 'Cause I went grocery shopping on Monday night, and went driving out. I'm looking out over the Hood Canal and go,
You can't.
where's
see
the
it.
canal?
You can't see it anymore.
It got bad, and you could kind of taste it too.
Yeah.
And the problem was also hot, so you had to decide: do I melt or do I cough?
It's like, choose between melting or breathing.
Yeah, so that was not fun, but
breathing.
thankfully it's kind of cleared up a little bit. Yeah, because they're saying actually our air quality is actually the worst in the world for a while.
It was pretty bad. Yeah.
So hooray, health problems.
Yeah, we're lucky that we don't have severe lung issues. We aren't impaired anyway with breathing.
Yeah,
Those who have asthma are getting hit bad.
yeah, it was pretty bad.
And we're actually lucky we are on the west side of the sound.
Yeah, it goes even
east
worse.
side, the Seattle, Tacoma area, it's even worse over there.
I was
or,
over there a little
down
bit.
in California or up in BC where the fires actually are even worse.
Yeah, I mean, I was over there in Seattle area a little bit last week, so it wasn't super bad, but you can kind of down the area, you can kind of taste like ew.
If you can't get masks, dampen a rag.
Yep, best you can do. But anyway, we're not here to talk about smoke and fire. We're here to talk about ponies. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pony 411. This is episode 234 for the week of August 26th, 2018. I am Nemesis, and I am joined as always by Alca7raz.
A
little bit different this week just because, the episode that's coming out is one we've already watched because it came out in the U.S., July? Yeah.
Yeah, before the official return
and
of
now
the season.
they're sitting there on Twitter pretending it's brand new, so I'm like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
You're the ones who released it.
It's not like the Australian or whatnot releases.
Yeah. So, we got a little bit different topic coming up later for you. But first, we got some news to talk about. Not a whole lot, but some. And after all is said and done at the end, we'll have a little tiny bit of fan content. Mostly just an update, really. But
Mostly.
Yeah. Mostly just an update.
I guess all of it is mostly.
Yep. Probably should go ahead and get started with that. If you want to follow along with the news, go to pony411.libsyn.com/show notes. It's spelled LIBSYN. So go there and click links to get more information because we're going to, be brief-ish. So start off with convention news. Fiesta C PonyCon has announced Kelly Sheridan via teleconference.
That's the Southeast Asia one.
The one, I believe this one is a little bit different because it's Fiesta PonyCon.
Yeah.
C PonyCon. BABSCon has announced that they're, extending to a 4-day convention, April 19th to 22nd. That is a Thursday through a Friday next year. Yeah, that's going to be Thursday evening, they're saying. And so it's not going to be full day the first day, but the rest of it's going to be normal. And they're also announced Rebecca Choquette will be attending as well. So, the thing is, they did not copy BronyCon. They weren't doing that. They're not trying to steal BronyCon's thunder. This was something they've been planning to do for months, and it just unfortunate timing. And in merchandise news, it's now confirmed that U.S. McDonald's are getting Cutie Mark Cruise toys in September. Should be around mid-September they'll be getting them, along with Transformers stuff as well. But
they always come together.
Mm-hmm. So there's that if you're looking for those. I'm not sure how they'll do that because the Cutie Mark Crew are blind bags typically, but
well, you don't usually know what you're gonna get until you open your Happy
cylinders. Yeah. Entertainment Earth has listings for Cutie Mark Crew clip plushies.
More of those.
Yes. Cutie Mark Crew style.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Several listings there. I'm trying to remember which ones there were. No Pinkie's there. Say Pinkie, Dash, and Twilight.
The 3 most common.
Yep. Surprise. And a new Equestria Girls book called The Star Swirl Do-Over has been listed on Amazon. Let's see.
Apparently it's a choose your own ending.
Yeah, it seems to be based off the choose your own ending stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't see any sort of synopsis on here or anything. Nope. Nothing.
Just a cover.
Just an exciting make your own magic book from My Little Pony Equestria Girls. A brand new series with tied to the you choose the ending content. So yeah, it's just the Star Swirl Do-Over. It's just probably going to be mostly stuff we've already seen or similar enough to it. But anyway, that's the thing. And in comic news, iTunes has released a preview of Ponyville Mysteries number 4. Friendship is Magic number 72 has been revealed. Applejack looks to recreate a famous pie recipe that has been lost to her family for ages. The quest will reveal family secrets and some very unusual ingredients.
I'm now picturing Applejack using some
Weed.
No. I'm picturing it more like ancient rituals or something, where she's got to draw like a pentagram and use those unusual ingredients.
Applemancy is back.
Applemancy, yes. I'm just imagining that.
Remember
it's
that?
Like,
remember
maybe
we said
this
that
recipe
way
should
back.
be allowed.
Applejack the Applemancer.
The Applemancer, yes.
And Nightmare Nights number 2 has also been revealed, and Princess Luna assembles her team of ne'er-do-wells, Capper, Tempest, Shadow, Trixie, and Stygian. Will they be able to work together and find a way into the most dangerous place any of them have ever been? Most of those aren't I don't know. It's kind of weird. Just kind of they're ex-villains. Like they're not really ne'er-do-wells anymore. In fact, Stygian was corrupted, if anything.
Yeah, they're not really villains, just antagonists.
Well,
Former antagonists.
Tempest was a villain.
Yeah.
Tempest was straight up a villain.
Well, I guess Capper then was too, because he purposely acted against the main 6.
Well, Tempest was Capper was just being selfish.
That's still villainous.
Again, he was
still
really
tried to
proper
lock them
villain.
up.
He still wasn't a proper villain. He was an antagonist. Tempest is the only real villain there. Oh, Stygian is very good. Pony Shadow's the villain, but that's a weird whole thing. But anyway, moving on from there. Equestria Girls. The Equestria Girls Choose Your Own Ending short, The Happily Ever After Party, is on YouTube. If you haven't already seen it.
Yeah, well, I'd have.
Like many of us did months ago.
Yep.
And Friendship is Magic news. The Best Gift Ever DVD listing on Amazon UK has been updated with new cover and more information, including a brief description. As the ponies all prepare for another heartwarming, families come together to celebrate the big holiday. The Pie family arrives in Ponyville, and Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, Applejack, Rarity, and Rainbow Dash are ready for the big day. But Princess Twilight Sparkle doesn't have time to celebrate. With her new school taking up her time and Shining Armor, Cadence, and Baby Flurryheart coming to visit, Twilight is behind on her to-do list. She hasn't even begun to shop. Luckily, her friends are here to help. Instead of one gift for every pony, they decide to do a heartwarming helper and give just one gift to the pony whose cutie mark they pull off Applejack's hat. But now the pressure is on to find the one perfect gift to make each pony's holiday special. By seeking help from their friends from all over Equestria, the main 6 and Spike are each hoping to find the best gift ever. With their hopes high, they set out to mount a magical adventure to make each pony's heartwarming bright. Yep, it's a 44-minute special.
Hey. Double length episode.
Yep, and I know it's probably coming out. It's got to come out soon because that's set for release in November 5th in the UK, so it's got to come out probably in October then or something.
Yeah.
Still a little early, but whatever.
Yeah. Oh.
And Disney in Japan will be airing MLP. It's back because it went off the air for a while on Japan. Now it's back. So Disney Channel in Japan.
Yep.
How about that? And finally, Australia will be airing the season finale on September 8th and 9th. Not really surprising. It was pretty easy to surmise from how they've been airing stuff, but there's confirmation.
Right on schedule.
So
right on broken, horrible schedule.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the sad thing is shortly after this episode releases, Sweden will be airing the season finale.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all messed up.
Everything's messed up.
And it's annoying to deal with.
Yep.
For everybody.
Yep.
But that's the news. Yeah, not a lot there, really. Not surprising. So anyway, moving on to discussion topic. Like we said at the top of the show, Yakity Sax is airing this week in the U.S., which means we've already talked about it. If you want to listen to what we have to say about it, in case you didn't catch it for whatever reason, that is episode 230. We talked about it. If you want to go back and check that out.
2:30.
Yep, 2:30.
All of my dentist appointments, except for last Fridays, have all been at 2:30.
They know.
It's great.
But instead, because we already talked about that, we're going to go ahead and do another one of those little character-focused things we've done before.
And what, once or twice?
4 times now, actually.
Really?
Yeah, 4 times. Spike, Starlight, Sunset, and Luna.
Oh, yeah, we did. I forgot about Sunset. All I really remembered was Spike. I forgot you went on a tirade about Starlight, and I completely spaced Luna.
No, it wasn't just me. It was definitely you, too. I remember that one.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with it, with her. Just not like you.
Anyway, but this time we're going to finally go into a main 6 character.
Oh, no.
Pinkie Pie, because, well, why not? It makes sense, because...
Today's episode would have been a Pinkie Pie episode.
Yeah, so
we already talked
why
about
not?
it.
Let's talk about the pink one.
The pink one. The pink one.
Ponky. Ponk.
Punk.
Pinkie, Pinkamena, Diane Pie. Pinks. What are the various?
Various different nicknames that we've given her and the show has given her.
Aunt Pinkie. I'm a year older than you.
I'm a year older than
Yeah.
This is the only time an age has ever been specified.
Yeah. And even then, it's still nebulous. But anyway, Pinkie.
Pinkie.
Indeed.
We are going to try and define Pinkie.
Somewhat. In the show,
cannot.
in fanon, all that jazz.
Okay.
Because Pinkie's always been the cartoon character
Yes.
of the show. She is the embodiment of cartoon. She's the stretchiest, squishiest, most bounciest character on the show.
She is the very model of a cartoon individual.
Oh gosh, no. Do not. Do not. Anyway.
Now the song is stuck in your head.
Yeah. And she's always been a little different from the rest, I guess.
Yep.
And she's also been a little more on the sense of, she's kind of a character, you either like her or you don't.
Yeah, she does tend to be kind of divisive.
To a degree.
Amongst the fandom. Yeah, to a degree. It's not like you have to absolutely love her.
She's
or
not a
absolutely
base
hate
breaker.
her. Yeah. But there is a bit of divisiveness on her.
And then sometimes it comes down to per episode.
Yeah.
As well.
That is one. She does tend to fluctuate episode to episode. It's like the writers also have their own divisiveness on her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's always been the positive one, usually. Except for the couple standouts, including
like
this week's
episode.
But yeah, there's been a couple standouts. But for the most part, she tends to be the most positive one, even when there's nothing really should be really positive about.
Yeah, she could always just kind of see that's always been the thing. Even since day one, she always kind of sees the silver lining, and that was sort of her thing. I mean, her initial song in episode 1, "Giggle at the Ghosty."
Yep.
Just laugh.
Just laugh at it. Laugh in their face.
laugh in the face of your enemies.
Look at that. Look at how ridiculous that thing looks. Maybe if you laugh, I'll laugh and it'll go away.
This is the point where we all turn our head back and laugh.
Ready? Yeah. So Pinkie's always been a little bit different from the rest of them. And for a while, I remember this. They actually revealed this, and that was always the interesting thing. Was initially Pinkie was going to be the only one who sang. Anyone, and of the entire show, she was going to be the only one until they changed the tunes with Winter Wrap Up. Yeah, so with Winter Wrap Up forward, that's like, Twilight singing, so that's the first time anyone who wasn't Pinkie sang in the show.
Well, they all sang.
Well, other than the theme song, but that was very much a Twilight song with the others contributing. But until that point, anytime a song popped up, it was Pinkie, because that was the initial thing, was only Pinkie sings. That was their initial
odd decision.
Yeah, that was their initial thought, because she's the only one who sings, and that was going to be a thing. But then they decided, we're just going to do more songs than that.
Yes, yeah. Otherwise, random ponies just bursting out into song.
Who does that?
Who does that?
Yeah,
so turns out all of them, not just Pinkie.
And that's so that's always been a little odd. And
I didn't actually realize that.
That was the thing they revealed. I think it was actually I think the first time I heard it was on season 1 commentary for the DVD way back when. They're like, yeah, Pinkie was the only one to sing. Okay, sure, I guess, but they changed that obviously. I think for the better, probably. Probably
for the better. Yeah, we got some really good non-Pinkie songs.
Beyond that, there's always been, I think, there's been a couple times where people felt that the writers mishandled her.
Yeah, there's been a few times. Yeah, like you said, she changes episode to episode depending on the writer.
Well, at the same time, though, there's been a couple times where I would strongly disagree with a large chunk of the fandom's
same here.
assessment.
I think there's a lot of the fandom.
Big ones was Philly Vanilli.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of the fandom that actually misinterprets Pinkie, and because of that, they think that the writers are doing it wrong, but they haven't quite. It's like they haven't quite got a grasp of what Pinkie is.
Yeah, that's another thing. Was because I remember because a lot of us were there. Philly Vanilli, the controversy was Pinkie
hurt Fluttershy.
Pinkie hurt Fluttershy, and she would never do that type of thing. That was the big thing. And she would never do that to Fluttershy. And it's like,
and there's
this is a quick recap. If you don't remember very well, it was basically Fluttershy was freaking out about singing, and Pinkie really kept going on and on about it, and kept talking about how the pressures and the fear and all that stuff really freaked Fluttershy out.
Yeah.
And everyone else is like, what the heck, Pinkie?
What the heck? You just made it worse. Yeah, and in some aspects, I see where they're coming from, but I also don't agree with them. It's like, she wouldn't do something to hurt Fluttershy. You're right.
Intentionally.
She wouldn't. And they get that from an earlier episode. I think there was the one with Dash and Pinkie doing pranks.
Griffin the Brush
Off. You know, Dash was about to do a prank on Fluttershy, and Pinkie said, no, you can't do that.
Fluttershy's too sensitive.
Her. So obviously Pinkie thinks about those things, but not all the time. Yeah. Sometimes it's like she didn't do anything to intentionally hurt Fluttershy, but there's a lot of times where she just doesn't fully think things through. She just, says what comes to her head. And that's been a consistent thing with her. She just doesn't really have a filter.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is like I think that we talked about obviously a little bit when that episode first came out, which was it's a different situation that this isn't pranking. So in Pinkie's head, it's not the same thing. She's not trying to screw with Fluttershy. She's just trying to. It's almost like she's verbally trying to work through what Fluttershy's going through, but inadvertently making Fluttershy feel worse.
Yes.
At the same time.
Yes, and that is a thing that a lot of people do. They just think out loud. It is what she was doing. Just thinking
Pinkie
out loud.
Seems to do that a lot.
And yes, Pinkie does that a lot. Like if it comes to her head, chances are she will say
and
it.
And none of that. Before that, there were. Again, Griffin the Brush Off actually assigns that Pinkie's often kind of oblivious.
Yes.
She was completely oblivious that Gilda didn't like her.
Yeah.
After a point. I mean, she kind of caught on, and then she's like, nah, I'll just have to throw a party.
No one doesn't like me. How can you not like me?
Yeah, so she does have an obliviousness to her at this occasionally. I think sometimes Pinkie fans don't want to admit that character flaw exists.
Yeah, remember, Pinkie has always been, I believe they called her the free spirit.
Yeah, free spirit.
Is what I think Lauren was.
The most childish of them and all that stuff.
The free spirit. And that kind of ties in a lot of that, really.
Mm. Yeah, beyond that, though, there's also kind of like... I think it's one of those things that on surface, she looks kind of, as a character, she kind of seems simplistic initially. Like, but as like a lot of these characters, there's hidden depths here that if you're willing to, explore them a bit.
Yeah, if you're willing to explore
like she has her own insecurities and everything.
She does.
They don't pop up a lot, but when they do, they kind of pop up hard.
Yeah, I think one of them, it's just like we saw in Party of One.
Party of One was the first big one.
Yeah, it was the first big one. Party of One, she wants everyone to like her. And if they don't, it doesn't, even if she thinks that they don't, she takes it really hard on herself. Mm. I don't think we've ever really seen her blame anyone else for anything. She always kind of waves off little things like that. She has a tendency to, or blame herself.
Well,
she always like finds reasons. Again, it's back to the silver lining. It's like if someone does something wrong, she tends to try and find the.
Well, there's a couple of times she definitely blames someone else.
Yeah, it's not always. Like,
no, but
what were
she
some
has
of the times?
The movie, the Twilight at the end.
Right. Yes.
That was a big one. If you want to go into this, the Equestria Girls Pinkie.
Yeah,
the band when they're fighting in Rainbow Rocks.
Yeah, that one's also a little bit nebulous because it is Equestria Girls.
Yeah, but it's still
and the
kind
characterizations are slightly different.
Slightly different, but it's close enough.
Fairly the same, but yeah.
I think I could have sworn there's another one.
But she does tend to always, pull the silver lining.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, it can't be that. It's got to be something else. Is usually the way it tends to go.
We've seen it. Another time we saw the kind of that sort of thing was definitely when Cheese Sandwich showed up. That really hit her hard because she felt ignored.
Yep. No, she's been, tossed off to the side.
Yep. To a degree, somewhat in Secrets and Pies, because she got really obsessive over why Dash seems to.
Yep, because she took it on herself.
Yeah, it's like, she can convince herself that it was probably her pies, and no one turns out it's pies in general.
It's just she doesn't like pies. But yeah, again, that is Pinkie again turning it back onto herself.
Mm-hmm. But the insecurities in Yakity Sax now as well.
Yep, that was slightly different.
That was a little different. But she took it really hard again.
She did.
Which, of course, there's that whole thing. But we
talked about that whole
episode
thing.
230. But yeah, that whole thing was just, so that's also the second time we ever saw Pinkamena come out, I guess.
Yeah.
Which was we've only seen her really twice on the show.
Not counting flashbacks.
Yeah.
Because there's been, Cutie Mark Chronicles where we saw her.
That was a weird one.
That was a flashback before yeah, that one doesn't count.
Mm-hmm. So we've only seen her get super down like that a couple times.
Depressed. I'm just going to call it's depression.
Another thing, speaking of the farm, was the whole family aspect they've been slowly adding in.
Right. They realize, hey, this actually works.
Yeah.
Let's expand on this.
Yeah, and we see in their family that she is the odd one out.
She is.
She, in multiple ways, she's the only one who's not like a very muted color palette.
Yep.
She's the happy, cheery one. There's another thing we see, particularly when Maud came up, was she sees things in others that other people don't.
Yes.
Real or imagined. Because she's convinced Maud's a great comedian.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
She tends to be unusually introspective. Well, I wouldn't say introspective because that's towards the self. Yeah, I've lost the term for that. She can. Like you mentioned, though, she can read into other people,
and then other times she'll be oblivious about it.
Sometimes it's a weird one, and when she does do it, it seems to be like off the cuff, which kind of usually this is shown because the rest of the characters like, wait, what? Or how did you that weird? How did you know? Kind of a thing.
Just remember, there was Mudbriar. I just remembered.
Couldn't read Mudbriar.
No, I mean the whole thing with Mudbriar, which is. She didn't turn that internally on herself. She was like, no, Mudbriar's at fault here.
Yeah. They didn't turn that one into herself.
That was like, Mudbriar's bad.
She's not wrong.
Yeah. Technically.
Well, actually, Pinkie's a hard one to pin down.
Yeah.
But there are some parts to her that you can.
And of course, we got the whole thing. She's a baker and... and that's that whole thing, and then the party. She likes throwing parties and stuff. She finds any excuse to throw a party.
Yeah,
because she just likes having fun.
She like I said, she's the free spirit. It's all about everything's happy and fun, and that's her thing. So she's always going to be striving for that in almost all things. I guess that's her primary goal. That's what she wants to do.
Yes,
is to have fun. So even when things so even when things aren't fun, she tends to try and find a way to make it fun. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes too much of an extreme.
Well, yeah. I lost the word. To the negative of others.
All right, to the detriment of others.
Yeah, detriment. Thank you. Sometimes to the detriment of others.
A certain Uvitophone.
A Uvitophone, or hey, we have a really long balloon ride. Let's play I Spy for the entire trip, which is the other yak episode.
Yeah, and of course, there's the other thing, of course, which she may or may not be related to the Apple family. And it's like,
yeah, it was kind of weird.
Very distantly, and that was, she just was so excited about this idea that she might be related to the Apples and just have more family and whatnot. And he's like, regardless, you're an Apple anyway.
You're honorary Apple.
Regardless of whether or not you're actually an Apple, you're still an Apple.
Yeah. You know, Pinkie, that is one thing that I guess Pinkie and Applejack kind of share is they both find family really important.
Applejack a little more so.
Yeah. Applejack,
for one thing, Pinkie did
different.
Move away from her family.
Yeah, they are, their love of family is different.
Mm-hmm.
Where Applejack is it's sort of the stereotypical Southern big family idea. It's what they're kind of pushing on that one. You know, big families and everyone gets together and all that sort of stuff. Where Pinkie is a little bit more nebulous on her family.
Yeah.
But like, she still loves having family, and but also likes to extend family.
Yeah, we're not surprised she thinks the cakes are family too.
Probably, like she'll just basically adoptive families just all over the place.
You're my family now, but you're my family now.
where Applejack is a little bit more on the blood family.
And then honorary apples, okay.
Yeah.
Your second tier apples.
Pinkie gets to be honorary everything, I guess. Honorary yak, honorary apple, honorary cake. She just wants everyone in her family. Just because she wants... Mm-hmm. You might be able to tie that back to her, just she wants to be loved by everyone.
Mm-hmm. That would make sense.
You know, being in someone's family is a big honor as part of that. And it's like, yeah, if they accept you into their family, of course they love you.
And kind of brought up quite a way back in this conversation now, but Pinkie and fandom.
Oh, fandom. Oh, so you want to jump over to fandom?
Yeah. That's
it does tend to vary a bit.
Yeah. This is something I've kind of talked about it multiple times in the past, but I'm going to do it again.
Fourth wall breaking?
The fourth wall breaking, the fandom.
I was going to bring it up if you weren't.
The fanfics. The problem is...
You haven't brought this up in a long time.
Yeah, but it's always been... a lot of the fandom really latched on to the handful of times she broke the fourth wall. And when they write her, it's pretty clear the author doesn't know how to write Pinkie. So what they do instead is all her dialogue is just referencing the fact they're like in a fanfic or whatever. That's pretty much it. I've noticed that it's like you can remove Pinkie and you change nothing. Because the author's just using them as a fourth wall breaking machine.
Yeah, and she actually doesn't do it that often.
Yeah, and it's really frustrating too because Pinkie's supposed to be the funny character and you're making her not funny.
Yeah.
Because, using fourth wall jokes, and they're not even really jokes, they're kind of like, just acknowledge that it's a fanfic or whatever. It's like, it's just Pinkie saying, oh, I know what happens next or whatever because of I read ahead. It's like, sure, it can be funny once or twice, but when every single line of dialogue is just Pinkie breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah, it loses
luster. It wears on you.
Also, it breaks the illusion.
Yeah.
I
mean, I get it if you're doing for a comedy fic or whatever, but there comes a point where you're just like, you're overdoing the joke and you just killed it. Oh, great, now you're beating the dead horse here, and please stop.
That phrase takes on a second meaning in this fandom.
Yeah. It's like, oh, dear, please, just stop.
Yeah. Fourth wall breaks you have to do very sparingly.
Yeah, and they're hard to pull off. And hell,
at the right
they're kind of even hard to pull off in general, and pull them off and make them enjoyable for the audience. Otherwise, it's just, oh, you just broke my immersion. Thanks.
Yeah, it's like, how many times did Spaceballs do it? I know of one big one, and I think that was
multiple times actually.
But there's only one big obvious one that I remember.
Yeah, there's the video cassette.
Cassette where they watch themselves.
There was the whole Baseballs merchandise thing.
Oh, right. That was another one.
That was
a little bit more subtle, but yeah.
There's a bunch of... they killed the stunt doubles. They accidentally killed a cameraman.
Yeah, but they're all done right.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's a comedy, and it's just... You kind of
you can do it more.
Versus a lot of fanfics, and the problem is there's jokes that aren't fourth wall jokes.
Yes. And the fourth wall jokes aren't all the same.
Yeah.
It's done different things here and there.
And
it's
that's
not the
problem
same one. Just
I've seen is just a lot of fan works just put Pinkie as reference the fourth wall constantly. That's all she does is just break the fourth wall.
She doesn't do it that often in the show.
No.
She's only done it a handful of times.
And more, if anyone breaks it more often, it's Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, other characters have broken the fourth wall. I know Twilight, Trixie, Spike have all broken the fourth wall as well. To a degree, possibly Applejack and Rarity have also broken the fourth wall a bit.
I remember when they did that.
Applejack looking at the camera. Just acknowledging the camera and stuff.
Yeah.
Just kind of just the look at the camera, the unamused.
Yeah, those are really subtle.
Yeah, there's some subtle ones. Like I said, it's the arguable one. But Twilight and Spike definitely both broken the fourth wall. Spike like actually interacting with backgrounds and pushing them out of the way when they just out.
Yeah.
Or Twilight teleporting into the black, or opening a hole into the black void after the episode ended.
I remember which episode that was.
That was Magic Duel, where Pinkie still didn't have her mouth and Twilight opens.
Oh yeah, that whole thing was.
And
gives
breaks. Her mouth back, and then Pinkie's about to talk, and nope.
Yeah, that one had fourth wall breaks, even with Trixie.
Yeah, Trixie, that's the other one. Trixie also broke the fourth wall.
The screen and the cursor, and yeah.
That was a little Flash joke.
Yep. Flash is a joke.
Works on multiple levels. See, that's a good joke. It's a joke. But, yeah, that's another thing. The other thing is completely missing the character in that they try to make her too serious. And that's the other thing. It's like finding that right balance, because she's always going to be the comedic character to a degree, and when you're trying to write a serious fic, it's really hard to adapt a character like that into a more serious situation sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it is just the levity of it.
Yeah.
You can use her as the levity when like things
the
are
comedic
really,
relief.
Yeah.
Things get really bad.
Give the
and she
reader
pops up.
a moment to catch a breath.
Yeah, really. You want to know how to put Pinkie into a serious situation? Go watch the movie again.
Yeah.
Go watch the movie again. When things are serious, so is she. But she'll still kind of pull a little bit here and there. Mm-hmm. But she can be serious if you know how to write it.
And of course, if you want to go just dark in the sense that you can just have her go into Pinkamena mode or something.
You can. I think some people tend to overuse that too. Like, they put her into full grim dark mode. It's like, no, please.
Boy.
Yes, everyone knows what I'm referencing.
Yeah.
When she went into that mode in Party of One, she was more depressed, not murderous.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just kind of, that's a odd
I think that
one's
one's just for shock
value. I think
value.
it's just Pinkie's kind of difficult to write because she's so different from the rest of them, and especially again if you're going for more serious material, it's a lot more difficult to get her to fit. And I've noticed in a lot of fanfics she's there, but she doesn't do much.
It's kind of hard to get her to work
because the fic acknowledges her presence, but she doesn't say much. She's just kind of around because it's sometimes difficult. I've seen sometimes attempts that don't work out, and I've seen actually some people do a really good job integrating Pinkie into the fic. She makes jokes that they're weird, and other characters just kind of go along with it or baffle depending on what kind of joke it is or whatever.
Yeah.
And I have seen a handful of fanfics do actually a really good job using the fourth wall break with Pinkie.
It can be done. It's just not easy.
Like the horror anthology I found once. This is like 2011, I think now. 2012.
2011 fix.
Yeah, which it was a horror anthology, and it was just basically a Lovecraftian thing where Twilight stumbles on forbidden knowledge. Yeah,
you told me about
Pinkie,
this one.
Also, that's the whole reason was Pinkie breaks the whole idea was Pinkie was able to break the fourth wall because she stumbled across the same information way back when, but she's learned to cope with it. Then she had to help Twilight cope with it. And that was, I remember because the fic ended with Twilight just saying, it says, Twilight turned to you and said, "Oh, I guess I'll see you later." It's like, oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
And the other one was actually, it was kind of interesting because it was a kind of one of those semi-comedic adventure stories or something. And they wound up, I can't remember which one it was, but it was like, they somehow weaponized Pinkie's fourth wall breaking.
Oh, so like, what was that episode? It was the Derpy episode, the big one. And they ended up using Pinkie to get Applejack to confess.
Oh, right.
Just make her shut up.
Well, it wasn't quite that. It was It wasn't. It was just they like Pinkie can break the fourth wall and stuff, and they wound up somehow weaponizing it because like basically not necessarily the fourth wall. It was also the impossible things like her somehow just being able to get to places she shouldn't be able to get to, like little tiny boxes or whatever. She can't possibly be there. Yes, she is, and they wound up weaponizing it, and that's how they escaped from like a dungeon or something.
Weaponize the rule of funny.
Yeah, they just wound up using it somehow. Like Roger Rabbit. And that's the other rule you got to remember with Pinkie. Roger Rabbit. I can do it, but only when it's funny.
Yep. Like I said, the rule of funny.
Yeah.
Weaponize.
Remember that. Remember the rule of funny with Pinkie. That's kind of that's kind of the governing principle for her. I think that's just the general problem. People have a hard time writing her because of all that. It's just really
people
difficult.
just don't have a very good sense of humor.
Yeah. A lot of us, let's be honest, unless the fan kind of depend on a very, very deadpan or cynical sense of humor.
A lot of it is cynical, but a lot of it is also, I would say, immature.
Yeah, and the problem is that's not really compatible with Pinkie's sense of humor.
Yeah, they just go for like the really, really simple blah jokes, just over and over again. I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe on that one.
Let me try. Yeah, so Pinkie's got a lot more depth to her than I think. And I think the other thing is I want to touch on is to simply, I used to like her more as a character than I do now. I think as the character has grown and evolved, I'm not saying this is bad writing, but her character has gone in a direction I'm not as on board with as I was early on. She's kind of at times become a little more annoying on the show.
Yeah, I was gonna start actually going into this sort of thing as well. I kind of agree with you, but I'm not. I'm not certain I was quite as fond of her to begin with. Pinkie's always been kind of for me personally, not my favorite character.
Right.
Not that I thought she was a bad character, and I've said this in the past. I don't think any of the main six are bad characters. None of them are written badly. They're all written great. They're all good characters. But some characters I just don't see eye to eye with.
Some ponies are more equal than others.
Yes. I just, personality clashes and preferences. Like, I've never been a fan of Rarity.
Yeah.
But that's just because it's just not me. That it's just not her personality and things like that. It's just not things that I can relate to and associate with. So I've never really been a big fan, but for what she is, I know that she's written well. So she's not a bad character. She's a really good character. She's just not my character. Pinkie's also sort of been that same way. Some of her personality aspects grate on mine and become kind of annoying. Her hyper antics and things like that have always, I know a lot of people really like that because a lot of people are, upbeat and they can associate themselves with that, and that's great. But that gets really old to me. I find myself a lot of times in those cases, it's just like, okay, can we go on with this? Okay, yeah, I get it. Pinkie, stop.
Yeah, well...
and that has changed a bit, but I've never really had her high on scale, so she hasn't really had much place to move around in.
Yeah, she used to be one of my favorite characters early on, but again, as time has gone on, it's just then they fleshed her out. It's like, yeah, she's kind of getting a little more annoying, and I'm not really liking her as much, and so it's just kind of like, she kind of dropped a bit. Like I used to like to be ambivalent towards Rarity, but as time has gone on, I really like Rarity now, and I honestly think she's probably my second favorite of the main six.
Wow.
She's really grown on me over the last 8 years.
Yeah, my main six lists haven't really moved much at all.
Yeah, and Applejack's always been kind of inconsistently. I like her, but they really need to flesh
get her out of the background.
Yeah, I've always liked her, and that's like, look, I love you, AJ, but
you don't have a lot going for you.
Yeah. I could probably actually talk quite a bit about what their mistake was with that, but that's for a different episode.
Yes.
But I kind of still like Pinkie to a degree, but in small doses.
I don't dislike Pinkie.
In small, I can't. I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah, but it can only take so much.
After a while, it's like getting rid of the character. It's like, oh yeah, you're kind of okay. Pinkie, you can stop now. Pinkie, stop.
Pinkie.
Yeah, this started in season 2, particularly with A Friend Indeed.
I'm trying to remember this.
It's Cranky Doodle Donkey.
Oh, yeah, that one.
That one in particular kind of really...
Pinkie.
That's like, once you get past the song in the beginning...
Yeah, it's just Pinkie. Pinkie, stop.
Yeah.
Pinkie, stop.
Yeah, so I think that was a turning point for me and Pinkie. And then I was like, Mystery of the Friendship Express I liked again, but then after that, it's kind of like Pinkie's kind of been good for a couple jokes here and there, but once you start focusing on her, I start kind of going,
Yeah, for me, like that.
Unless you do something really special with the episode or whatever.
Yeah, and that's like for me where I said it starts to grate that hyperness, that constant. It just
yeah.
I can only take so much of it. But again, it's like I can't say that's bad writing. It's just not.
That's what I said. Like I started off with, I said it's not bad writing.
Yeah, it's not. She's not badly written because of that. It's just not me. So other people do like that, and that's fine. That's great. It's just not me.
Probably could talk a little bit more, but it's starting to reach. I guess
we could always find things to talk about.
Yeah,
but
she's an interesting character, and she's got more depth to her than she appears to. But
I'd like to see more depth.
Well, we've gotten depth. It's just.
We have, but I'd like to continue to see it.
Yeah,
I'd like to continue to see it because that would mean less hyperness. More depth usually means less hyper Pinkie, which is better. Not necessarily true, but usually.
But we've gotten some good episodes out of her, but we've also gotten some iffy episodes, and I think Yakity Sax is one of them.
Yeah, I thought it was all right.
Yeah, but I know that in general, I wasn't super thrilled with it. Now the fandom in general wasn't super thrilled with it either. So there's that. Maybe which that's more or less it for now.
For now.
Who knows? We may come back to some point. Who knows?
Choose someone else.
Another character at some point in the future.
Let's talk about Applejack. Oh, wow. That's like 5 minutes into this and we're done.
Oh, come on.
No, we could probably do more on Applejack if we wanted to.
A lot more on Applejack. But anyway, that's it for Pinkie.
Yeah.
Moving on. Fan content, there's not much of anything, really. No music.
Right. Yeah, nothing really grabbed me this week for music. There was some good stuff out there, but nothing just reached out and grabbed me like I'm looking for.
Fanfic-wise, a couple things caught my eye for a little bit, but wound up being not really material for this. But Enchanted Kingdom didn't get another chapter. It kind of got a chapter like right after we recorded last. But it's basically the new chapter is just rare Twi fluff. That's pretty much it. They're just goofing around and messing with other people by talking in sync.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff
that was great.
Yeah, so
also a slight fourth wall break, like we've been talking, where they use rare Twi.
And the rare light connection.
Well, they're talking about the ship name.
What would they call it?
Rare Twi. Twirity. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a fun little thing. And the author openly acknowledges, it is pretty much just fluff. In the middle of their, but
it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun, but don't expect much more, I don't think. So, that's it. We're done. We actually managed to talk more than I thought we would, but whatever. Actually, probably it's for the better. If you enjoyed this and you want to hear other episodes, both past and future, you can go to pony411.libsyn.com. It's, again, spelled Libsyn. All the episodes are there. You can subscribe to the RSS feed and whatnot. And there's a whole bunch of links to our other destinations you can go to, including iTunes. Search for Pony411 on there. Subscribe, rate, review, all that stuff. There's Google Play, although apparently they're now changing that a little bit for podcasts. That might be changing in the future, but for now, play.google.com/music. Search for Pony411 and subscribe there. Again, that might be changing in the near future. Apparently, Google is now pushing their podcast app or something. Go figure. Yep. There's Stitcher.com, or the iOS or Android app. Search for Pony411 and subscribe on there. Or you could go to youtube.com/Pony411 and like us there, subscribe there, and comment if you want. And when you do subscribe, make sure to click the notification bell and click that. Make sure you're getting notifications for when we go live and all that stuff.
When we go live? We don't ever go live.
Shh, you know what I mean. And of course, there's also PonyvilleLive.com. See, we do go live.
No, we don't. Shut up.
You can check us out there, whenever we're posted. It'll be the YouTube version. We're there, along with other podcasts and radio stations, including Ponyville FM, where we air every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you want to check us out there, along with a bunch of music and live DJs and whatnot. You can also contact us on social media and all that stuff. If you want to say hi or whatever, you can do so via email, pony411podcast@gmail.com. Questions, comments, criticisms. What do you think of Pinkie? Are we right? Are we on the money? Are we wrong? Do you want to argue with us about Philly Vanilli portrayal?
Please don't. I don't want to get into an argument.
Right.
I don't like arguments.
Yeah, so there's that way. You can contact us via facebook.com/pony411 and like us there and see new episodes as they come out every week or so. Sometimes every other week, depending on what time of year it is. And there's, of course, Twitter. We're at Pony411. That's our usual nonsense spewing device.
Nonsense spewing device.
Nonsense spewing device.
Yeah, that's a good...
Including
that's
ruminations about
Twitter.
How MLP Season 8 is all messed up because of scheduling weirdness and what is going on here. Why can't anyone ever...
Yeah.
All that nonsense is there. And of course, there's our personal Twitters. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1, and he's at Alca7raz with the 7 and 7T and an underscore at the end. I haven't tweeted a whole lot this week, but I did see Christopher Robin. That was actually pretty heartwarming little movie. And new toy reviews out, so there's that.
People say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day.
He retweets pony pictures.
That's basically all I'm doing right now.
He just retweets pony pictures all the time. That's what he does.
I don't have anything else to say. I just don't feel like saying it.
That's it. We're done for this week. Tune in next time. We shall be talking about... Let's see, I believe is the Road to Friendship. That episode. So, yeah.
Road to Friendship.
Yep, I prefer the long one, personally.
Aha. Aha. Aha.
Yeah, read that fic, by the way, if you haven't. I recommended it to you.
It is a good fic.
So, that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Tune in next time. But until then, please pony responsibly, guys. See ya.